guys, it's Maddie. Welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be introducing you to a snake that I've had for a long time that I haven't been able to introduce you to until right now. But before we start, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below and become a member of our family. I post animal videos every single week, so I hope you guys will subscribe and click the notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload. Real quickly, I am going to actually introduce you to my new snake that I've had since April, and it is now almost July. And I will kind of go into why I haven't introduced you to him beforehand. And also, he kind of looks like he's a little bit darker than normal, so I think he might be about to go into shed. So I'm going to limit like his screen time to just, you know, a second before I go put him back in his enclosure, just in case he is about to shed, because it kind of looks like he's a little bit darker right now. So without further ado, here is my new noodle. Here he is. He's so cute. He doesn't have a name yet. Here you go. If you guys are not familiar with these guys are actually not milk snakes, which is kind of what the coloring looks like, but these guys are actually known as the tricolored hognose. There he is. He's adorable. He is a male, and like I said, he's a tricolored hognose. And now I will get into the story of why I got this snake, which I wanted for a while, but I wasn't originally planning on getting one at the time that I did. So I'm gonna go put him away, and then we'll get into talking about how I acquired this little boy. What is that? Great, okay. Here's the story about how I got my little hog noodle. So a couple of months ago, I think it was around March, I'm not positive, Tyler and I went to the Taylor, Michigan Reptile Expo, and I had known for like quite a while that Tyler was wanting a tricolored hognose because he was constantly talking about it, and if you guys know Tyler, you know if he wants something, he's literally constantly talking about it like nonstop until he gets it. So he was talking about wanting a tricolored hognose for like a really super long time. So we went to the Taylor, Michigan Reptile Expo, and he was looking at like a trio of tricolored hognoses, and then he was looking at like just a single tricolored hognose, and he's like, I really want a tricolored hognose. I don't know if I should buy one right now. And I was like, you should probably wait, because he was thinking about moving. But also I was just saying that because he had told me before that he wanted a tricolored hognose for his birthday, and I was like, I don't know what else to get him. So I was like, maybe if he waits, I can get him a tricolored hognose before July. Long story short, I tried to keep convincing him to wait and wait and wait and not get a tricolored hognose. We went to the Sin City Reptile Expo. He saw more tricolored hognoses there. He wanted to buy one. I was like, please wait, like don't buy one. And then like we would go to the reptile store like where I live, and there'd be tricolored hognoses there, and I was like, please wait. And I think around April is when I acquired the little boy that I now have, who doesn't have a name. I'm not gonna get into prices, but like they're not super cheap, and he was the most expensive male because his patterns, I think, are just so like perfect. Like they don't have any like breaks or like mismatched patterns. Like all of his stripes are solid and really good. And his coloring is really vibrant and bright. So I was like, okay, that's a really good one. And I was like, a male is still, you know, a decent amount of money. So I was like, I'll get him a male, even though I don't think he'd mind if I got a male or a female. So I ended up getting the male, and the shop owner told me that this was the only one out of all of them that was eating live and not frozen thawed. I was like, oh great, because Tyler doesn't feed live to his snakes, he only feeds frozen thawed. I've done a lot of snake rescue work and everything, so I'm used to feeding live until they can get on to frozen thawed, so I don't really have an issue with it. So my thought was, you know, I take him home, and then hopefully I could transition him onto frozen thawed before July, when I would give him to Tyler for his birthday, and hopefully Tyler would not go out and buy a tricolored hognose for himself before then. Middle of May rolls around. I've already had the snake for like a month, I believe, and by this time I had fed him, you know, several times, and he still was not taking frozen thawed. He kept refusing and refusing, and I was like, oh, this is really discouraging. But also in the back of my head I was like, I really want a tricolored hognose. He's really super pretty, and I already have the full setup. You know, his tank was already decorated. It was already on my reptile rack. It was like hidden behind something. I had like a flag up, so when Tyler came, he didn't ever see it. I had everything for him already, so I was like, what if I just kept this one? And I went and I got Tyler a female that was already eating frozen thawed. And in the back of my head, I kind of justified it, because I was like, yeah, we'll get one that's already on frozen thawed, and then I won't have to like stress out about it if this snake doesn't get on frozen thawed before July, when I have to give it to Tyler for his birthday. I went out and I bought a female tricolored hognose that was already on frozen thawed, and I decided to keep the male. So basically, yeah, that's kind of how it happened. Tyler comes to visit, I don't even remember when. Last time he was here, I literally cannot remember the dates, but he came to visit, and I decided to give him his tricolored hognose early for his birthday. I kind of did this for two reasons. One, because my friend Jordan is getting her surgery the day before I'm going to Michigan, so I'm going to give her 2 of her presents because her birthday is like very shortly before Tyler's. And so I was like, I'll give her 2 presents right before her surgery, and then I'll give her 2 presents when I'm with both of them, and then I'll give Tyler 2 presents now, and then I'll give him 2 more presents when I'm up there, when they're together. So that was my first reason. My second reason being I got Tyler a vegan birthday cake made, and like there's no preservatives, so I have to pick it up the same day to make sure that it's really fresh. So that's like an hour south of my house, and then I have to drive from there like 5.5 hours north to Michigan. So I figured, you know, keeping a snake in the car for like 6.5 hours, not including traffic or like pee stops, would not be very fair. And I know snakes can be transported really well, but just in the back of my mind, I'm like, why not just do it now? Because it's a 4.5 hour drive instead of, you know, a 6.5 hour drive. Yeah, anyway, that was my thought process. So I just gave it to him early. So that's why I waited to announce that I had the snake, and now I have him. Well, I mean, I've had him, but now I can announce that I have him because Tyler also already announced that I got him a snake for his birthday, and he's already put out his video. Everybody already knows it. I think he named it Gucci. I don't even know. But I have no idea what to name mine. Anyway, that is my new snake. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time. Sorry you only got to see him for a second. Also, I'm going to mention that animals don't make like good gifts. The reason that I did it is because Tyler was literally already going to buy it himself. He had already done all the research and had everything that he needed. I had a tank and everything to give him and all of the supplies, and I was like, you can have all of this if you need it. And he's like, no, I already have like the stuff at home. I did give him like a bag of bedding so that he had, you know, bedding at home if he didn't have any already, but I did have everything to give him in case he didn't have it. So yeah, buying animals for people as like surprises is not a good idea. This was not really a surprise for him because he was already wanting it, and I told him like, don't get it, like don't get the snake. I could have just bought it while he was at the expo, but he's not down here with me like all of the time, so obviously he wasn't at the expo when I got it, but I could have basically just bought it for him at the expo and bought him all of the supplies, and it would have been, you know, the same thing. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Don't buy surprise animals for people that aren't expecting them and aren't ready for them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!